Hey friends, welcome back to Joy channel. I have listed for you my favorite books for 2019, all about like wealth, mindsets, spirituality, and I wanted to share with you guys. So I just wanted to film a quick little intro because I forgot it. And here they are. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for more content, and yeah, enjoy your day. Have a blessed day. And first book is gonna be that really changed my life and like just woke me up a bit to like the reality. It was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I hope I pronounced that right. But I listened to a lot of like his audiobooks and his YouTube kind of videos I watch sometimes. But Rich Dad Poor Dad was like the first start. When I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I was like, okay, I need to like know everything about money, about investing. I need to know everything about like how rich people think, how wealth creation and everything. So then I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, which followed now with the second book of his, which is the Cash Flow Guarants. And the first one, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, is just like an introduction of like how he grew up. I don't have the book here physically because I gave it to somebody else, but obviously we probably all know I'm gonna blend it in here somewhere. So the first book is just about him, how he like his life story, and like how he had like his poor father, which was his like original father, like his real father, and then he had this rich father who was like his best friend father, and how he like his rich father helped him to like develop his mindset and helped him with investing and everything, and his like journey. And then in the second book, in the Cash Flow Guarants, he talks about like more about his story, like opening his first business with his wife, and how he really like had to realize it's all about like the pattern of the employee, self-employed, business and investments sector. So it's like all about that like four parts of like wealth creation, and how different people have different work, and how they some people are more investors, some people are more businessmen, and how people basically make get their income out of these different sectors. That's the second book. Yeah, I really like both of the books, and I'm gonna read more and mainly listen to audiobooks as well. So the next one that I want to talk about is this one. Is The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. It's the second book that I really got into. Like the second book I basically read after Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I got from Amazon for like, I don't know, like $7-10, and it was very like, I just saw it there, like it was just popping up. It didn't really like, the cover didn't really look appealing to me, and like there are other books that I wanted to read, so I wasn't really like that hyped about it first. But when I started reading it, it was really really like good, and like just to, let's say, go deeper in the spiritual like side of like a money mindset, and how rich people think, how you can't, for example, envy other rich people, because that will just come back to you. How you get rid of like poor mind thinking, and like understand that like wealth creation, that there's nothing wrong with wealth creation. Mind can contradict two things. Like you can't say the rich are bad people and then like want different things for yourself. It's like, it's very like a spiritual book as well. So it's like, yeah, mastering the inner game of wealth. So that book was the second book that I read. Besides that, I also was listening to a lot of the audiobook of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. That were like the three that like got me on that journey started. And obviously now the Cash Flow Guarants from Robert Kiyosaki as well. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. This one is just a very small one, good to have like with you everywhere. It's just like a very like deep reminder of like just like personal growth and spirituality, but it's just like to like law of attraction and everything. I just like having this as like with me, just if I ever feel like I'm like sliding, I'm like my mindset isn't right, or I don't really feel good, I'm just gonna read this one quickly. Like it's just, I don't know how many pages, like 100 pages, and you just like have that everywhere with you. And it's just like, it's just a very nice book. Like look at the cover, it's just a very nice book. It's by Deepak Chopra. I'm gonna link all the things in the bio anyways, but yeah, the 7 spiritual laws of success, a pocketbook guide to fulfilling your dreams. So this one, it's funny because my camera is like stuck on all the books that I'm reading direct. Just wanted to quickly show you how it looks like. That was the second one. I have started reading this, but then I switched to the audiobook because my mind just sometimes works better when I listen to audiobooks. Like I just comprehend the things better, and it's just quicker for me. Like I always had that. I always was good with like listening and then repeat, like having it in my brain. Next book is like goes more into the direction of this one. It's The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and I really like this author. Obviously many of you know this book. It's like the #1 travel book, but it's really like, first I read it in Spanish and I didn't quite understand it because my Spanish is good, but I wasn't really like, it got really deep into this book. Even when I read it in English now, it's like, okay, like I really have to like slowly read this. It's about like, it's more of a story. So if you want to have straight facts, that may be not for you something. So like this is about a guy who like wants to go to the pyramids, and like it's about alchemy, and like it's a very like enchanting book. It's about journey, about traveling, and I would say it helps more with like personal growth and like developing like a mindset. If you really want to go for something, you have to like risk it, and you have to like just go after it. And like it's really a nice story, I think. And yeah, just another favorite of mine. Next, that goes in the same direction like The Alchemist, is The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. Same with like, I don't really like the cover. It's like very like this one. It's very, very mediocre, like guys. But you can see like the direction they're going in. So this is basically, this is a long time ago that I read this, but yeah, it's about wealth creation as well, but it's more in depth about like how Babylon built their wealth creation, and how back in ancient times, like the system of like wealth creation and like the system that was running back then is like, you can apply that to today as well. And yeah, I like this book, but it wasn't my favorite. Like when I heard about this book, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the best, because like everyone was like, this is like one of the top books, but it wasn't quite my favorite. So another book that I unfortunately only have the German version here, and I don't really like reading books in German. It doesn't quite go together when I'm traveling and I'm speaking English and I read everything in English, and then I'm like reading a German book. It's just like, it's okay, but it's a lot to like take. I prefer reading in English and speaking English, because like if I read a business book in English, like why would I read it in German? If I have the English terminal already, then like I can use it anywhere, you feel me? So it's this one by Anthony Robbins. Obviously you all know Tony Robbins. It's in English, it's called Unlimited Power. The cover looks different. This one looks very German and like old school, but I really like Tony Robbins. I have like huge empathy for him, and I think he just like describes in this book how you can really change your life and how you can step up your character how you can become this beast that he like represents as well, like how you can make a beast of yourself. And it's like very inspiring to hear his journey from being absolute broke in California to being like one of the most like successful people. And like, I don't know, I think he's a very inspiring person, and like very sympathetic. Yeah. So I hope you like my recommendations. I think it's a very good like basis to start with, just to keep your mind like processing everything. I think the books that I mentioned are very, very helpful and very easy to understand. And if you want to go into more complex things, just like keep your eye open for more books. I'm definitely going to do more book videos because I just love reading and I love knowledge and everything. So just quick more recommendations at the end, like the books that I'm currently reading and the things that I'm working on right now are this one, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. It's basically, this is by the creator, like a memoir by the creator of Nike. So the guy who like built Nike, the company, and the shoes. And Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they both recommended this book. It's very much about how he was kind of like, it starts off like this, like how he's like traveling, and then he finished college. He don't really know what to do, but then he wants to fly to Japan to like, because he loved like running and running shoes, and then how his whole story goes from there. But I haven't finished it yet, but this is very good so far. And so yeah, this is the book that I'm currently reading. And 2 more tips that I would say is just watch YouTube videos from people that you think have knowledge about the subject that you're interested in, about whatever investments and anything. And another thing that I recently really like was sometimes, not all episodes, but the Gary Vee podcast and Naval podcast. These are the things that I'm listening to right now. I haven't been going deep into it yet, but so Naval and Gary Vee, there are 100 million other podcasts that you can listen to. But I think I love books. I love reading about wealth creation and about like anything that has to do with really bettering yourself and building businesses, anything with like finances, investments. So if you have any tips, book tips, let me know. Let me know in the comments or write me a message. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was helpful to just get you a start with like books, if you don't know which books are like out there, which ones to read. And yeah, I would like if you would stay and subscribe, because there's a lot more coming 2020. I'm so excited. And yeah, I see you next time, and have a wonderful, blessed day. Get it poppin'. And we see each other next time. Bye.